Now to another big story. A day after A.J. Armstrong was found guilty of murdering his parents, and his family members say they are left devastated and in disbelief.
Fox 26's Damali Keith spoke with A.J.'s uncle, and she joins us live outside the Harris County Jail where Armstrong is now being housed.
Yeah, A.J. Armstrong had been out on bond for years, but now he's here in the Harris County Jail waiting to be transferred to a Texas prison after this third jury found him guilty of murdering his parents 7 years ago when he was just 16 years old.
I was crushed emotionally.
The murders of Antonio Sr. and Dawn Armstrong in their own home in 2016 as they slept is an absolute tragedy. Family members say they now have the added pain of a jury finding their son, Antonio Armstrong Jr., guilty of shooting his parents to death when he was 16 years old.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Antonio Armstrong Jr., guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment.
I hit the floor in the middle of the airport in front of my gate. I was that devastated. Everybody was rushing to me thinking I fainted. I just fell to my knees and crying like a 2-year-old.
A.J.'s great uncle, Harvey Armstrong, says he believes there would have been a different outcome if certain information was allowed in court, such as a recording of A.J.'s brother who suffers mental illness.
There was video of Josh saying what he tried to do, burning down the house, things. It was on video.
Prosecutors say Josh was thoroughly investigated, and they told jurors evidence including alarm records show, quote, a burglar or a brother never entered that house. Harvey Armstrong says the alarm was known to malfunction. He also believes the family's housekeeper should have been allowed to testify.
Conversation that she heard Antonio having with people that seemed to be after him.
The Armstrongs were murdered with their own gun, which was left on the kitchen counter after the shootings, along with a note written on the family's paper with a pen from a kitchen drawer. Investigators say all the doors and windows at the house were still locked.
Now, this kid is going to prison for life, but I'm gonna fight this. We're gonna fight this as a family.
Armstrong also points to the couple's gym they owned being broken into, and Antonio's computers were stolen. He says that raises reasonable doubt, along with Antonio Sr.'s business partner dying in 2019.
But both of these young men ended up dead within 2 years.
But the business partner died after his car stalled on the freeway and someone smashed into it.
I know A.J. I know in his heart he could not kill his father and mother.
A jury now says otherwise.
You give me 40 years saying that I did something that I know I didn't do. How do you handle that? I know I've hurt. Sorry.
Harvey Armstrong, who played 8 seasons in the NFL, watched Antonio Sr. follow in his footsteps into the league. He'd hoped for the same for A.J.
He said, Uncle, when I get out of this whole stuff, this mess, I want to go back and play football.
A.J. has now been sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years.
God will find a way. I'm convinced of that. Faith over fear. I'm going to have faith that my nephew will be home soon.
Now, A.J.'s first 2 trials ended in hung juries. He is now appealing this guilty verdict. And Harvey Armstrong says he's now turning to some of his NFL friends after the family has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. He hopes to raise more money to help and continue to fight for A.J.'s defense and for his freedom. Reporting live outside the Harris County Jail, I'm Damali Keith, Fox 26 News.